The hatred runs deep between these teams, and no position feels the pressure of a rivalry game more than quarterback. Can this fella look past the emotion of the game and deliver a victory for his team? It's the Bengals going up against the Steelers. So with that, let's get up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
As a former defender, Brandon, the goal was always to tackle the receiver immediately after the catch. When you missed and gave up additional yardage, you didn't make anyone on your team happy. That's why I'm sitting here next to you.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
As they run the counter play. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position, help out your team.
Come on, let's go! On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Here we go. Ryan 38.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll come out in the pistol. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle. 6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant, and it's third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Out of the gun now on third down. Surveying the field. He completes it to Bryant. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
A really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Finding time. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Back to throw now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And Bryant's got it over the middle. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They're going to look to throw. That's caught at the 3. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And let's see 6 defensive backs out there. They're in the dime here on 3rd and goal. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I know ultimately...
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just made better plays. And that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. Someone's got to find a way to cover this guy. Otherwise, he may set some records.
Second down following the run.
Ringo. Come on, let's go.
They'll look to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And for the right side here, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really big strike.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Looking to throw. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now in Pittsburgh, it's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Let's go.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Sammy Coates has it complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. He got 29 yards that time. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another pistol look here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. He'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know.
And now out come the Steelers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. A strong running. Going up top, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They come out here in the eye. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got time in the pocket. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Let's go.
The first carry now for Rex Burkhead. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here we go with 2nd and 7. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Pittsburgh, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation.